can we realistically separate the art from the artist? If you're like me and you're into emo and pop punk for the last couple of days on this app, you've probably seen there's a new single out by a female artist where she brings back up accusations against a beloved emo and pop punk band. And there's lots of response videos of women who were a part of that scene who have been abused by members of emo and pop punk bands and fans of emo and pop punk. This is far too common in our scene. Emo and pop punk bands have been accused of a lot of bad behavior and are guilty of a lot of bad behavior. I struggle with this so much, and I honestly don't know what is right, guys. Help me, because I feel like we have two bad options. On one hand, you separate art from artists, and you are able to listen to these things while acknowledging that there are bad people behind it. But in doing so, I feel like we undervalue and throw away all these people who have been hurt and abused and victimized, and their stories mean nothing because we continue to laud the art. But on the other hand, if you try to hold all art to a moral standard, especially across time where moral standards kind of change, if you try to hold all art to that, you're going to end up deleting huge swaths of all of the artistic output that we've ever created. You might have to get rid of all of it by now. If you pull that thread, okay, now everything we consume, do we have to do like a moral checklist of everyone involved? Imagine if you had to do that with every piece of music, every television show, every movie, every book and video game. If you had to do a moral checklist on everyone involved, you might as well lock yourself in a box because you're never going to consume any media ever again. And if you pull that thread too far, how far up the scale do you go? Is it just the direct artist, or are we somehow responsible for the people over top of them as well? I love Kevin Smith movies. You might know this. Most of the famous Kevin Smith movies have been put out by Miramax, the Weinstein Company. Do I have to cut off my love for Kevin Smith movies because of who Harvey Weinstein is? What's realistic? What's ethical? I honestly don't know. I need somebody to help me navigate this. But that's what keeps bringing us back to the question.